We should be working. Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Hopefully well. Hello, Tima. Hello, Knight. And thank you for the birthday wishes. I told you it'd be a special stream today. I have a hang on. Let me fix my blinking settings because my eyes are having fun. Where's my settings for that? Okay, that should have fixed that. Hello, John, and thank you. It feels weird to be another year older. That's okay, Tima. It's not like I sort of like spread the word that I was going to have a birthday stream today. Well, I said I was going to have a stream, but not why it was going to be special. So you can be forgiven. I think Facebook kind of gave it away though, because it always tells people that it's someone's birthday. But never mind, it's fine. It's also my friend's birthday today, so I don't know whether or not he's popping down like he said he would. But if not, I will see him tomorrow, so I will give him his present tomorrow. Hello, Daniel, and thank you very much. Everyone is out at the moment, so we have some peace and quiet. So I thought I'd pop on and have a lovely birthday stream. Well, the doggos are here, so you might hear them barking at some point. The usual, the usual. I have no idea what game I want to play today, so we might just chat, we might play a game. Haven't decided. I'll be mostly celebrating the birthday tomorrow with my friends. Don't think I need that now. Because we are doing a Magic the Gathering draft. I think they've got one of the jump sets. So I will have more cards, but I will not have paid for them because that will be my birthday present. But I don't know what I'll be getting because it'll be a surprise. But I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. Hopefully I get some good cards. Hopefully everyone can hear me alright as well. I'm guessing so. Yeah, it is a loophole because I said I wasn't going to get more cards, but I am getting more cards. But I'm not actually paying for them, so it's good. It's good. We're all good. So I'm technically not lying. I didn't get myself more cards. Oh yeah, we have a car coming past for the iron. So if you hear noises, it's them. shouldn't be too loud. I've made my friend a deck for his birthday, so hopefully he likes it. It's nothing amazing, but I had a lot of spare cards, so and I said I'd make him a deck. Although I was joking when I said it, but I decided I'd make it. Yeah, they're going to be loud. But not being as loud as they usually are. Anyway. Don't think it's picking up on my mic, so that's the main thing. Unless they're like street up, street down. Maybe they haven't entered our street yet. Oh well. So what should we do today? What should we do? I was on holiday. I came back last Saturday. So I was off from work for 2 weeks. I wanted to book my birthday week off, but someone else already had that this week booked off. So I booked the week 2 weeks before. So I had last week and the week before off. And we did go away. It was Saturday to Saturday, so the first Saturday that I had off, and then to the following Saturday I had off. I think I did take some photos. Not many, but I did take a couple of photos. We stayed within Wales, Timar. We don't go abroad anymore, mostly because we have dogs now, so we tend to take them with us when we go on holiday. So it's nice to find places which are dog friendly. So if I So this is one of the beaches we came to. Let's see if I can actually. There we go. So we went to West Wales, and I actually did manage to get into the sea. Not very far, but far enough. It was cold. It was very pretty down there. Not great pathways because they were quite thin pathways. But they were pretty like beaches were really sandy, so that was really nice. Unfortunately, the doggos could only be sort of like so from where the rocks are, sort of like the bottom half of the beach, but they couldn't go the rest of the beaches because they were not for dogs apparently. I'm guessing it was because of all the kids, so they only have one section for dogs, which is fair enough. So the beach was quite nice. You can sort of see your feet for a little way until it got a bit too sandy and murky, but it was alright. It was quite nice. We had a few good days. Do I have any other pictures? I do. Okay. So this was another part of the beach. It was like we couldn't get to here from the beach we were at unless the tide was really out, but there was sort of like a cliff in between, so we climbed that and had a look at the other beaches. It was a very, very, very pretty place. The only thing that let it down was there wasn't very many parks for the dogs. There was a park like right next to us, but it was very small, so you couldn't let the dogs off the leash because of all the cars and how busy it was. And then they had that little beach, and they had to be kept on a leash there. So I think that was the only downside. Our dogs get car sick, so we don't tend to travel with them a lot. But we do travel with them some places. There's a cannon here, and let me fit. There we go. So I think this was a historical little landmass where they would protect the coastline. Obviously, the cannons don't work anymore, so there's reasons. John, my birthday is on the 29th, so I don't know what your time zone is, but today is the 29th for me. Oop, what did I get rid of? Got rid of something by mistake. There we go. Oh, what was that I got rid of? Okay. I'm having scuff. Because of course I'm having scuff. There we go. I think you in certain places you can go aboard with your pets, Timar. But I think you need a vaccination, and then obviously you need a type of passport for the animals. And given how little the dogs like the car, we didn't think they would like the plane. So rather than put them through that stress or the stress of putting them into like a shelter or whatever, not a shelter, but a dog, a place for dogs to go when you're away. We didn't think they'd be able to do that because of how they are. So we just tend to take the dogs with us to wherever we can go by car because it's just a whole lot less stressful for them, and it means we can take them with us. Do I have any other pictures? Yes. Although that has people in it, so I don't know if I should show that one. I mean, none of these people are our people, so hopefully it's okay. So this was the beach that we were allowed to go on with the dogs, at least from the left-hand side of it. So the dogs enjoyed themselves for the most part. Again, they weren't allowed off leash, but we have the extendable lead, so they've still got a bit of distance to like run and play. And I did take them to the water, which was highly entertaining. So the smallest of our dogs, Loki, I picked him up and put him into the water, not too deep, so he could still reach the bottom. And he was smart. He knew how to survive by paddling. Not that he needed to, but his little legs were going. Our other dog, the bigger dog, Rufus, he just kind of sat there, and he didn't even make an attempt. He just sort of like stood, realized he could touch the bottom, and he just sort of like looked at me and then walked off, and I was just like, oh, okay. No effort was made by that papa. But yeah, it was a lovely place to visit. It's not the place we usually visit because we usually go to a whole other place. Still West Wales, but a different area. And there's a lot. Their beach there is a non-dog beach, but majority of the beach there is dog friendly. So they can go off leash, and they've got a huge beach to run up and down to play in. The only problem with that beach is there is a firing range at some point, not on the beach itself, but there's a grassy sort of like knoll. So certain days of the week they do their fire testing. So you're not allowed on a certain part of the beach during that time for safety reasons. You still got a huge beach though to walk along for your dogs. And the only other problem is jellyfish. Although we didn't see any this year because the week we went, which is usually the week we see the jellyfish, it wasn't hot enough. So we saw a lot of jellyfish eggs, which didn't no longer had like baby jellyfish in it at all or anything, but they'd washed up on the beach. So there's lots of eggs, but no jellyfish. That is the only other problem with the beach. And of course, jellyfish. Yeah, I wouldn't say they're scary night. At least not for me. But they're definitely not something I would like to come across swimming. And even when they washed up, they can still like sting you. I think it was up to 2 weeks, if I recall. I kind of looked into it. So even if you see it washed up on the beaches, it's best not to touch. And the dogs like to sniff and look at everything, and they also like to roll in things, as we found out. So you guys trying to avoid jellyfish entirely with two little puppas is yeah, it's a task. Yeah, our dogs are just not used to traveling at night. Like we'll take them like to parks and things, and they do a lot better traveling now than they used to when they were younger. Um, it used to be we couldn't even go down the street without them being sick. Now they can go at least a couple of hours without being sick. It seems to be roundabouts that trigger most of it. I think. I don't think they quite like the turns. Um, Although Loki did go all the way home without being sick, which really surprised me because I kind of put him half on my lap because we had to go in a really small car, so there wasn't really enough room for their little crate things. So he was partially on my lap on the way home, and I think that might have helped him, like calm his nerves, because I think it's a nerves thing. But we'd rather take them with us than put them in like a home or whatever for however long we're gone, because they're very much lap dogs, and they kind of like they don't like it when people leave the house, let alone like being left on their own. Obviously we do because they have to get used to it because obviously people got to work, go places, do things. But we try not to leave them on their own too long if we have to. So we just don't think that they would handle being away from us for a week. I don't think they would handle it very well. So we just take them with us instead. So it just means holidays abroad are not really in the plans for a while. But there's plenty of places in the UK we can take them. It just means we won't have like the perfect weather because the UK sucks. You're pretty much all right nights going into the ocean. You can usually spot jellyfish. Usually, it depends on the jellyfish though. But in the UK, you can usually spot them. So they'll be floating at the top. I don't think we have anything too dangerous here that I can remember. But it definitely depends where in the UK you go to the beach. Because obviously some areas like West Wales is you are like along the ocean, so you're bound to get more sharks and stuff there. Whereas South Wales, you're more sort of like near the Bristol Channel, so you're less likely, like, you'll still have the chance of it, but you're less likely to see it. I think Devon and Cornwall, beautiful places, by the way. If anyone ever visits the UK, definitely visit Devon and Cornwall. It's in England, but they still have a lot of Welsh roots from when it was obviously before the English did the English thing. So there's a lot of Welsh roots there. If I recall correctly, because it's been years since I visited that area. They're sort of in the Bristol Channel, but they're more towards the sea. Sort of like Spain sort of area. And their beaches are just as beautiful, mind. Very, very sandy. But you can, I think one year we had sharks. I can't remember what breed of shark it was. I think it was one of the big ones. I can't remember if it was a great white, but it was one of the big ones. And we had to all come out with the water. But it's definitely okay to like go into the ocean as long as you don't go too far out that you can't get back. But if you just want to like put your toes in or like up to your knees or your butt or whatever, you're perfectly safe. It's not like Australia where you have to watch every boot you put your foot in. I think most sharks that we get here we do get one of the biggest sharks, but I think it's the Baskin. No, is it the Baskin shark? I'm trying to remember what shark it is. It's the one that eats the plankton. I'm not hugely familiar with shark types. We do get dolphins as well. Like quite a few times there's been dolphins going up our rivers. But yeah, we don't see too much in the way of like sharks around by where I am. It's usually just like the main sort of like ocean parts that you may have to like keep an eye out. But you usually have like lifeguards and stuff in certain parts of where they them. So you can usually find areas where you've got someone keeping an eye out for you if you need it. Yeah, sharks can be a little bit scary. Like I love sharks, like they fascinate me, but I don't think I could swim with them either. I will admire them from afar. The one sea creature that really creeps me out is the squid and the octopus. Like I could probably look at them as long as they weren't able to get me, sort of thing. Ugh. I don't know what it is about the octopus and the squids. I think it's all the tentacles kind of makes me squirm a little bit. I will happily put up with sharks way before I put up with those things. The ocean is just a scary place, really. Like I'm not so afraid that I won't swim in it. But I definitely would not go into the deeper and swim there because ugh. If I was on a boat, I'd be okay as long as they didn't try to kraken the ship or anything. That would be scary. It's just the thought of like I think it's the thought of the giant squids that does me. Like giant squids are just like huge and they can take on whales and stuff, and it's just like No, thank you. It really is a different world down there. You're right on that night. Very different. It's still an amazing place. Like everything fascinates me down there, but at the same time, I'm fascinated, but I respect the dangers. You know. Right. Let's see what game we can play. I don't know what I fancy playing today. Um, it's been a while since we've played anything other than Baldur's Gate and Dragon Age. Um, suppose we could play that watermelon game if I can get everything set up. Just something to play while we chat. If I can even find it. I know I have it somewhere. Here it is. Um, I haven't yet, Night, because I'm trying to avoid too much in the way of spoilers. Um, let's swap screens a second. There we go. Um, so it depends. If the stuff doesn't have spoilers, oh, that's a bit loud in my ear anyway. Then yeah, I'll check it out. I just don't want to spoil it myself too much. So I did look at the various pre-order stuff. I personally don't think the digital pre-order on the PlayStation is worth the 10 quid. Because all you're getting is a couple of cosmetics and that's it. Like you don't not even getting like the soundtrack or the artwork. Um, it does have spoilers. Okay, then I'll avoid it for now, just because I don't want to spoil myself too much. Um, so yeah, I don't think the PC, not the PC, the PlayStation digital pre-order is worth the price. I also don't know if the special pre-order or whatever it's called, one from BioWare website is worth it because with that you get, I know you get that light up dagger thing, but you don't even get the game with it. and I just don't understand the logic of that. I know they've done that before, which never made sense to me, but to offer all that but not the game, it really confused me. So I don't think I'll be getting any pre-order stuff this year. Will I still get the game though? Probably. I mean, it'll give me something new to play at least. But I'm not going to pre-order it. I don't think it's worth the price. I am a little bit good that I don't have a disc version of PlayStation because it would be a whole lot cheaper if I had the disc version. But scalpers during that time were horrible, so I just got with the PlayStation that I could get. So it is what it is. Yeah, I mean they do look nice, but yeah, they're not worth that price. They're really not. Like, I mean, they don't even really give you any bonuses from what I can tell. Like, they don't give you any extra stats or do anything other than make you look slightly different, and that's it's it's not worth an extra 10 quid. I'm sorry, but it's not. Because I can't the exact prices, but it was literally like 10 quid more than like the base game. And it's not worth it. Um, I just really hope the game will end up being good. Although I don't understand why people are criticizing it for being quote unquote woke, because it's always been progressive. Like that's literally what it has been like since the start. And anyone who thinks otherwise is fucking dumb or have never played the actual games, and they're just trying to hate for the sake of hating, which is also dumb. But whatever. I see more of that on Facebook than I do Twitter, which is surprising. Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough on Twitter. I just want to laugh at them half the time, but I'm sure most of them are bots, so there's no point. It is hate for hate's sake. Like, I don't like pandering. Like, I hate pandering. Um, but David Gader, who made Dragon Age, is gay, whether people like it or not. And the game has always had progressive characters in it. It's just the way that game has been from the start. So yeah, it's just dumb. Yeah, Facebook isn't that great, but I'm there for promoting myself more than anything and for writing, mostly in the writing community on Facebook. But every now and then it sort of like advertises stuff I'm into, and I'm nosy, so I look at the comment section. But it's just. I'm sure half of them are just bots, so there's no point in replying to them. Yeah, it does feel like they play a completely different game. Like it's never been. Well, I want to say it was never shoved in your face, but Liliana kind of disproves my point. So, oh man, does she always used to try and jump me? But like, you can choose not to have a character that's into like same sex or whatever. So it's just like, it's there. You can choose to not take part in it, but it's always been there. Hello, Uncle Kathy. Kathy, sorry if I've butchered your name. I am terrible at names. Are there any other games coming out this year? Oh, is it pronounced coffee? I will try and remember that. My day's been good, yeah. And yours? Hopefully you having a good day too. Come on. Fine. Be mean. Well, speaking of characters coming on to you, the amount of times Liliana has suddenly decided that she's in a relationship with me, even though we were just supposed to be besties, is yeah. They think someone coming on to you and you turn them down once and that being it is bad. Oh, Liliana. So frustrating, Liliana. I should that down the other way. Oh well. I'm going to die. Yeah, there you go, I died. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy remake. I do have like the first episode of that. I have completed it. I was going to play it again at a point, and then I got rid of my PlayStation Plus subscription. Got a subscription back now, so maybe I'll play it again. Maybe I can even do that live one day. Now that I've got my PlayStation subscription back, I have so many games I can play now. Like stream them, I mean, not just play them. Um, and I keep forgetting because I keep playing Baldur's Gate or Dragon Age. Oh, I'm terrible. I did look at Dead by Daylight to see if I would like that, but I don't think it's going to be my sort of game. I mean, it might be fun with like friends, but I don't know if I'd like playing with other players. See, I didn't hate Final Fantasy Remake. I think they should have stuck with the actual story a lot more than whatever it is they're going for. Like, what they're going for is a little bit confusing to me. Like, are they trying to rewrite the game's history? Are they just trying to be nostalgic? Like, I don't quite follow. But I don't hate it as much as my friend does. She won't even play it because she doesn't for some reason. But I think it was all right. The voice acting was really good. Gideon Emery was, I think, Biggs or Wedge. I can't quite remember who now. So that made me happy because he's one of my favorite voice actors. If you're not familiar with the name, he did Fenris in Dragon Age 2. So love, 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 love Gideon Emery. Baldur's Gate is going fine. I'll probably play more of that next stream, maybe, or maybe some more Dragon Age. Haven't decided yet. Um, but our current playthrough, the middle, the multi one, we've just done. Well, we just did Shadow Hat, blah, 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 Shadow Heart's quest. Because that's who I'm romancing this playthrough. So we just made her Lasha. And we did the first fight in Moonrise Towers. So we're currently exploring the towers at the moment until we have to fight Thorm. We had to restart one of the battles because Jaheira died, because of course she did, because she's an idiot. She turns into a panther and then just jumps into the middle of the fray like a fucking fool. Like, I give my friend hassle because he always does stupid shit. But I think Jaheira takes the cake. At least he turns into an owl bear and jumps into the middle of the fucking battle, you know? He has some life to him and some fucking Jaheira. I love her, but that fight is so annoying trying to keep her alive. Oh, yeah, I love Fenris's voice actor too. I met him in real life. I actually got his autograph. I also got a couple of others, but he was the one I went for. I just happened to get the others. Well, him and Mark Mia. I went for him too. It took me ages because I had to stand in, I had to get up early, and I'm not a morning person. So I had to get up early, had to wait in line, even though I was there hours early. And yeah, but it was so worth it. He was so nice. But I got his autograph. I got Mark Mia's. I can't remember the voice actresses' names now, but I got Liara from Mass Effect, and is it Sam Trainer? I got their autographs too because I didn't realize they were there. They're not my favorite characters in Mass Effect, but I was like, they're there. I'm here. I may as well get everybody's autograph. So I did. They're really nice people as well. Yeah, totally worth the sleep loss. I am so happy. I don't think I'll be going to a con again, at least not anytime soon. It's just too much money to go, and there isn't always people I want to go and visit. What we used to do, we used to make a list of all the manga and anime we wanted that we couldn't get anywhere else anymore because they were either getting sold out or obscure, really old manga. But we started finding as we went on, the cons started to they're still fairly nerdy, depending on which ones you go to. But the ones we were going to were starting to do less. They were sort of they were how to explain. It was more for the normal people rather than the nerds, and so it kind of didn't feel like going was worth it anymore. So it was mostly those little is it the pop figurine things? I got a couple, but it was mostly that being sold now, and not like manga that you couldn't buy anymore, and anime, and it just became more of a normie thing. And I guess we just kind of lost interest. But it might be different in different cons. I did want to cosplay one day, but Funko Pops, thank you. I knew it was Pop something. My brain has just like it's there somewhere. It's hiding. Hello, Rybald, and thank you for the birthday wishes. Yeah, I still have my I haven't got a cosplay of anyone in particular, but I do have a Dragon Age cosplay. Because I bought the Inquisition sort of like neck thing. I want to call it. It's like a scarf, but it's not a scarf. Um, and I have elf ears, and I have, depending on what class I want to cosplay as, I have a mage staff, which I'm fairly sure it's supposed to be Maleficent's staff, but it works. It works. And I also have daggers in case I wanted to be a rogue instead. But I would love to cosplay, but the only time I can cosplay now is during Halloween. So I'm looking forward to Halloween. Last year I went as a fox thing. A femme fatale fox thing is what we decided on. No tail though, because I didn't want a tail. I just had the fox ears. But this year I might go as an elf. I have had a red wig, so I wore the red wig with my fox costume. I do have a couple of wigs. I have 3, I think. So I have a white one, a red one, and a blonde one. The white and red are long, and then the blonde one is short. So I have all the necessary things to cosplay. I just need places and stuff to actually do it. Woo! No, I don't think I've ever managed to get 2 watermelons. This game hates me. Yeah, I had a feeling you're gonna roll down. That's okay. Of course it does. That's fine. As I say, as the world burns around me, this is fine. Yeah, the game's not easy, but it's also not hard. Like, it just doesn't like me winning. No, no. Of course it did. Bastard. It's weird that there's not many games coming out this year, because I think, not that I'd be able to play it because I'm a chicken wuss, because I think they pushed Little Nightmares 3 back this year as well. Like it's releasing next year now instead of this year, which is slightly disappointing. I like watching other streamers play that because I'm too much of a chicken wuss to actually play it myself. Um, but I do like the lore and the world around Little Nightmares. Um, so I don't really know what else is out this year. It is a good game to watch. I did try and play the first one. I think it was last Halloween at my friend's for her little Halloween party. But yeah, I chicken bust and stopped playing. uh, like I know what's coming as well. That's a stupid thing about it. So I know what's coming. I know how to do stuff, but I just freak out. I might even have Little Nightmares on PlayStation actually, because I think it was a free game for 1 month, so I just downloaded it even though I knew I wouldn't play it. So maybe I'll play that this year, like for Halloween. Maybe not on Halloween. It'll depend on what I'm working and stuff, but maybe I'll scare myself for you guys. I did not hear that, John. Why would Monopoly win of all things? Like what? Did it win a board game award or it's so random? I will say though, I have the Mass Effect Monopoly. I've only played it like once or twice, but I like having it because I'm a nerd. I'm an idiot. And why not spend money on this shit? Yeah, that's really weird that Monopoly. I don't understand. Like, yeah, it's an old game, so I kind of understand. But at the same time, there's plenty of other games that could have. You're gonna have to tell more details, John, because I'm really confused on that. Right, yeah, Hasbro, yeah, that makes sense. Of course, Hasbro likes being Hasbro. There's not much Hasbro that touches that they don't somehow mess up. Like I grew up with My Little Pony and Transformers and shit, so I'm familiar with Hasbro of the old, but I don't know what they're thinking these days. They're just stupid. It does seem very sus though that their own game won. See that type of thing. If I found out, I mean, hopefully they didn't, cheese it and bribe their way into victory. Um, but if it comes out that they did, it would not surprise me, not one bit. It would make me stop watching stuff like that though, because it'd be like, well, what's the point? Like, I know quite a lot of things are sort of like rigged anyway, so I get it, but it doesn't make me happy to support stuff like that. Like, I'm not saying they 100% did because I haven't got a fucking clue, but it does sound very, very suspect. Exactly, now. Like, you go and vote for your favorite thing, but whatever. Sometimes I just see stuff happen and I just like, well, it's kind of just disappointing more than anything. But that's companies for you. They only care about their bottom line dollar. They don't really care about anything else. Like I get profits and everything, but I'm not sure what they hope to gain by doing. Yeah, assuming that they did. Kind of just takes the fun away, you know? Kind of reminds me of uh those game shows where you have to vote for your favorite to win, and usually it's rigged anyway, so no matter how much you or how many people, phone in, who you want to win isn't always going to win. And the best rarely win either. It's usually the really terrible ones that win. My mum used to watch a load of the stuff like that. And then they would try to make it all emotional, and I'm just like, you've let someone who's actually good lose and now is leaving because you've decided that this person who cannot sing or act or whatever is entertaining because they're so bad at it, and you've let them in, and it's just like, ugh, ugh. Exactly. It just makes it the whole thing pointless, which is why I never really got into those sort of things. Even though my mother loved them, but I guess people just don't realize like how rigged things are, and they're just blissfully unaware. But you can usually tell. I used to do little competitions back in the day. Nothing like game breaking or anything, just little competitions. Usually art competitions, and then I'd give away little prizes. That was back on. I think it was Deviant Art. I can't quite remember before they messed that up. I think it was like the points or whatever. I can't quite remember. It was so long ago. That's not going to go in there. Fine. Of course, you're going to block that one up. Ah. Apparently, I'm not sure when next year. But they're releasing more dragon cards for Magic the Gathering. They're going back to Tarkia. I cannot wait. I'm trying not to get the next set because that looks it's a Halloween set, I think. I can't remember what it's called. Looks interesting, but I'm trying to not buy any more Magic cards. I need to save. I need to save because if I do get my own VTuber model, like a proper one just for me, I think the cheapest I can get is probably around about 300 quid, roughly. Well, I say quid. It might be dollars. Um, so still fairly cheap, but I'm gonna have to save for it. And then I want a new laptop, so I'm gonna have to save for that. Magic the Gathering needs to stop tempting me with the treasures of pretty cards. It really does. Like, it knows I need a certain, like, fruit or pop, bubble, whatever you want to call them, and it always torments me. Or it rolls somewhere where I don't want it to roll. Oh, there we go. We got one. Woohoo! I am trying to be strong. I promise. I definitely can't afford anything this month because work took away my overtime. They've given me some overtime this week. No, this week, yeah. Not many hours, but they've given me a bit of overtime. And I'll be doing a lot more overtime in September as well. So hopefully I'll get a bit more money to save up. But I'm guessing someone's on holiday and that's why. Yep. Seriously? You're gonna jump all the way over there when I wanted you there? And you're probably gonna do the same? Yes, of course you're gonna do the same. Because why wouldn't you do the same? You go. Well, at least something came from that. Okay, that's something. That's something. This game torments me so. What I need to do is focus on writing again, like properly get into it. Now, I've been writing a couple bits here and there, but not as much as I usually do. I think I'm getting a bit lax. I really want to spread my wings and do something different from werewolf stuff. Like, I've got all the ideas for the werewolf stuff, but I'm getting kind of bored of it. It's doing alright. I need to edit my fantasy book too, because I took that off the shelf to give it edits, and I haven't gotten around to that yet. And I have been writing a new book. I haven't posted it anyway yet, but I have been writing a new book for the website. I've done outlines for other books again for the websites, so it'll all be werewolf stuff. Nothing entertaining. Well, unless of course you're into that. But it's just sitting down and actually getting to it. So I think I'm feeling burnout because I've just been writing the same genre over and over. And I need to write book 3 of my fantasy series before one of my writer friends kills me. I've got so many ideas, and I also want to do a post-apocalyptic set. But it's just getting the motivation and the whip cracking. Yeah, it's not very creatively stimulating. Like, there's a lot you can do with werewolf, like especially if you mix fantasy into it. But I find readers don't tend to like the fantasy. They like the same old tropes of abused female, and I really don't like writing that. Like, I'm okay with a little bit of like having a villain do it, but for some reason these readers want the male love interest to be like that, and I'm just like, you, no, 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 thank you. I think I just need to find somewhere where my people live. I guess it's not in the romance section, even though that's where all the money is right now. I think what I need to do is write a book that traditional publishers would want. That's in a genre I would like, and then try that way. Like, I don't mind writing romance, and I don't mind writing like spicy stuff. Like, it's whatever. Um, go away, Midgie. But I get bored of it. Like, there's only so much you can write before you've had enough. And I think I'm just at that point where I've kind of had enough. Which is a shame because I promised my editors I'd write books for them, but I just can't bring myself to it. Yeah, it feels like that for me as well. Like, they don't want, like, they still want some semblance of the story, but they're in it for the smut, no matter how degenerate it is. And it's just like, well, okay, but it's kind of boring. And it's over, and it's very over and saturated, like the whole genre is. Maybe what I could do, maybe not live, but for a video is show off some of my random like story characters. Some of our role plays that I've done in the past for like the muds and stuff. Um, some are characters for my books. Maybe I can do that one day. Yeah, yeah, John. It is 100% 50 Shades of Grey. That's the sort of books they're after, and I get really bored because it's not my thing. Like um I prefer the fluff and the dorky sort of romances. I kind of blame anime for that though. Like the sweet romances I like. I'm fine with smut and spice. It doesn't bother me, but I don't want the abuse and the oh but I love you and I can change you, and I don't want that. But I think that's what they're looking for. But there's a couple platforms I do like writing for, even though that is what they're after. But I think dealing with some of the shadier apps has also put a damper on my drive, because having to deal with them constantly, like I haven't checked in a while to see if iStory has stopped selling my book everywhere they shouldn't be. Um, good luck if they have now, because I fucked them over with that. But besides the point. Um, but having to like seeing more and more of it happen lately is just kind of making you wonder what the point is, because it's just like, well, you're just gonna steal my shit anyway. I do remember me and my friend went to one of the cities shopping one day when 50 Shades was all the rage. And I remember us giggling and opening one of the pages just to have a look to see like how good or bad it really was. And I think we opened to the scene where she has the butt plug, and oh man, like my friends, she's not a conservative Christian, but she's definitely more I'm gonna say chaste than I am. So like she's able to have fun and you know, crack jokes and whatnot. Like she's not naive, I'll say. Um, so but seeing her reaction, it was hilarious because even she was like, "The hell is this shit?" And it was just so funny. Like we were both cracking up laughing because of how badly it was written, and just like butt plugs was the thing that we ended up opening the page to. So funny. Like I'll never get over that. Never get over it. Oh, I didn't think it was going to let me have that then. I don't think I'm going to get a watermelon this time. I think the reason Celine is so prevalent is because a lot of the shadier apps that you know people write for, um, they don't care if they steal. Like they'll pretend that they do care, and they'll pretend to take action if caught out. Um, but they're just really horrible and scummy, and I hate them. Like Tap Story slash I Tap Fic, sorry, and iStory. Well, they're the same company. They have so many apps, and I have reported this to some of the other apps, like the editors there. But they create so many hidden apps and apps that actually belong to them, but they don't record that they belong to them. Um, and they steal like exclusives from these other apps. But they try and then claim that they're not, and it's just wild. Like they just don't care. So even if you don't upload to them anymore, they're probably still going to steal your books and then pretend that they didn't. It is so annoying. Like what I ended up doing because they would not terminate my books is I edited I think it was the first like between 5 and okay. Still not gonna get the Waterman, but okay, I'll take it. Um, so I've edited like the first five, between 5 and 10 chapters, and the last 5 and 10 chapters, depending on how bored I was. Because you can't just copy and paste the same words. You've got to word it slightly different, otherwise they won't let you. So what I did is I kind of wrote the same thing, but changed the word slightly so it let me upload it. And pretty much just sort of like changed the first like 5, 10 chapters of the beginning and the end to them. I think one book was just me really random animal facts. And then the other thing I did was note about like breaking contract and theft and stuff. So what happened was with the random animal facts, they kept those pages up. The plagiarism and stuff that I mentioned, they just deleted the chapters. So a lot of my book is still there because I couldn't change everything. Like going through like hundreds of chapters to edit it would be too much. But I've made it so that readers won't be able to follow the storyline. Like they'll miss like the first 10, 5 or 10 chapters, and they'll miss the last 5 or 10 chapters. So the book is pretty much unreadable now. So even if they do steal my books from their main website, they're gonna have a hard time like getting readers for them. At least I think so. Maybe. But they broke the contract first, and I'm under no obligation to let them have the books, because whether they agree to terminate the contract or not, I'm well within my legal rights to take the book away from them, whether they, terminate or not. So that's what I did. And if they want to sue me, then they can go right ahead, because legal action internationally is expensive as shit. And I ain't going to them, so they're gonna have to come here to the UK, and they'll be laughed out of the UK's legal system. So, and they'll be told to pay me money because they owe me money. I don't care about the money; like it is what it is. But if they tried to sue me, I have all the proof I need, and they would have to give me money. So they would be out of so much money, just from the legal situation they've put themselves in. So they're not gonna sue me because they know they're in trouble, and it's not worth suing me for them to be laughed out of court, basically. So yeah, but that was the only thing I could do to get my book, get some of my dignity back. But some of the other apps, I don't know how easy it is to do something like that. Oh, I will say we did have an update on one of the girls. Again, I won't mention names. But they managed to get their termination for the agency that they were having trouble with. So she did delete her post. But I think it was after. Well, I don't think she deleted it. I think she's put it in archive, so just in case they start shit. I'm not 100% sure though. Don't quote me on that. But I know she still got all her evidence, because I told her to keep it all just in case they did start lying and trying to start, crap. But she did manage to sort it all out with them. I don't know if there's going to be any punishment for the editor that was harassing her and threatening her. But I guess it remains to be seen. But at least she managed to terminate her contract with them, which is the main thing. I did not want you to go all the way over there, but never mind. That's okay. It's fine. Yeah, pretty much. So if they do steal it, it's incoherent. Like they won't understand the beginning, the end, and they're gonna have to find the book elsewhere instead. Unless they've got a backup copy of my books, in which case they can probably just upload those. But I'll just keep striking DMCA's in that case. It's annoying, but it's the only thing I can do at the moment without suing them, and I just don't see the point. Again, international lawsuits are expensive, and I don't know how much money they've made for it to really be worth the bother. I'd just rather keep warning people to stay away from them and never sign with them again. I definitely do not trust anyone that promotes them anymore. And I do keep warning people. I still see posts, because I'm in a writers group. I still see posts of people signing with them, and it's just like, well, you knew the risks, so 2 seconds. I think someone's knocking on my door. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. No, I went that one. There we go. Sorry, my nephew came to give me presents. Give me a nice little D&D dragon thing. So when we do our little campaign, we can have a place to roll our dice. Anyway, yeah, I wish I could do more to make those people face consequences, but at the end of the day, it really isn't worth the cost of suing internationally. All I can do is try and keep as many people away as I can, warn people, and hopefully people start realizing how shady they are and how scummy and how much they steal from authors, and people stop using them and supporting them, and eventually they'll just go out of style. But there's always going to be companies like that, unfortunately. It's just how it is. All anyone can do is just not support them. But enough depressing things. Enough depressing things. So I'm not even sure if there's anything this year that is something to look forward to. Like this year seems to be very quiet in terms of games and stuff being released. You got Dragon Age. That's about it. I'm not even sure if there's anything in terms of movies that's coming out that I want to watch. The only thing that I want to watch, I've already watched now, and that's Deadpool and Wolverine. Saw that a little while ago, actually. When did I see that? At least 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. Oh yeah, the Chinese game that came out. Yeah, that looks very interesting. Um, I can't afford to buy it, but it does look very interesting. Oh, that's a shame, John. Sony has been very hit or miss lately, hasn't it? Like I know you can't, like, as a company you can't always have bangers, whether that's video games, anime, movies, whatever. But at the same time, why waste your effort on something that's not going to be very good? Oh well. Hopefully they start upping their game a bit. Yeah, that's kind of a shame. Like like I don't like talking political for obvious reasons I've already mentioned. But there is a huge difference between being progressive and then just pandering, and I hate the pandering. Um, but yeah, it's just the environment we live in at the moment. It'll all change in a couple of years. At least I hope so. Like it'll well, I say hope so. It'll probably get worse before it gets better. That's usually how it goes. Yeah, you can always tell when they're pandering. Like for example, Disney. Um, Disney used to be really progressive when they made a lot of their movies. Yeah, they had their faults. Don't get me wrong. Um, but they were at least trying to be progressive, whereas nowadays it's pandering, and it's really annoying, and I can't stand it. And it makes their movies a lot worse for it. Um, and because of that, they're hemorrhaging like money, and it's just like, well, you're not doing yourself any favors, Disney. I am so surprised we managed to get a watermelon. I thought we were going to die earlier. Um, but yeah, so a lot of their movies now have not been very good. Like I watched the new, well, I say new, it's been out ages now, but quote unquote new, Little Mermaid movie with oh, I'm terrible at names. What's her face? Um, and although Little Mermaid never used to be my favorite Disney movie, it was it was up there. But they changed so much and not for the better. Like I don't care about the race thing. That does not bother me one little bit. Don't care about that. But they made Scuttle a girl for some reason and changed the type of bird Scuttle was. Like Scuttle was a seagull, or gull or whatever we want to call it. And he was annoying because he was a gull. And he didn't go underwater, and he certainly didn't speak underwater and breathe underwater because he's a fucking bird, not a fish. Um, and no offense to Aquafina, but she has one of those voices that I can't stand. It's very like, and why did they give her a song? Like, Scuttlebutt is the worst song ever I have ever, unfortunately, had to witness my ears to. Anyway, rant aside, I won't rant too much on Aquafina. Um, and the whole Under the Sea song, you no longer have, like, I can understand why they didn't add one little bit because that was a little bit of a racist stereotype. So I can understand why they removed that little image. If you know, you know. Um, but they had none of the visual elements of that song, like the part where they talk about the fish in a bubble is gonna be, well, not bubble. It's floating in a bubble, but you know what I mean, and it's gonna be eaten, but on the plate, and they had that lyric still there, but they didn't have the visual effects, so it didn't really hit as hard. And then they had Ariel singing along. Like Ariel didn't like she was vibing, but she was planning her escape during that song, more or less, because Flounder come along and tell her, but she wasn't going along with the song and singing. Not really. But I mean that was just a little thing. The thing that really annoyed me was changing some of Ursula's lines in Poor Unfortunate Souls. Like there was no need to change some of those lines. Like getting rid of and on land it's much preferred for a lady not to say a word. Like, that was bad advice for a reason, even back then. Like, she's an evil sea witch. She's supposed to be given advice and convincing Ariel to give her her voice. Without that line, it doesn't hit as hard. Like, she's not supposed to be given sane, good advice. She's an evil fucking sea witch. So that annoyed me, and there was a couple of other things that annoyed me. I did like how they gave Eric a little bit more background, but I didn't like the fact that they took away his princely status. Like, he's still a prince, but he's adopted now, apparently. They could have just made him black like Ariel and then had him a genuine, place as prince. No. So I didn't quite understand that. But the thing about Eric that bothered me most, and not Eric himself, was that he no longer saves Ariel. Like, Ariel's the one that somehow magically knows how to steer a ship, and she's the one that steers it into Earth. It didn't make sense. Like, the whole point of the movie, well, not the point, but the whole thing with the movie was them saving each other. Like, Ariel saves Eric at the start, and Eric saves Ariel at the end. It's equal. It makes the whole plot of the two characters equal. By making Ariel save Eric twice, it's no longer equal. It makes I just don't like it. I really don't like it. But I'm probably going to be cancelled for that opinion. But it is what it is. That's what I mean when I don't like pandering. Like, I don't care that they change Ariel's race because it doesn't matter. Literally does not matter. It's the other things they changed that I really did not like. It was just like, it was changes for no good reason, and it just didn't make sense, and it really took me out of the story. And I really hate Aquafina's song. I'm sorry, but I hate it. I get she was going for annoying, and it makes sense in that regard, but I hate the song. It's terrible. It's a terrible song. Like, they could have given it any other type of song, but they gave her a rap song, and it was just terrible. I hated it. I mean, and that's just the Little Mermaid that I have a problem with. Some of the older remakes weren't too bad. I was okay with Aladdin remake. Like, it wasn't perfect. Like, I still preferred the cartoon Aladdin. But I was able to sit through the live action Aladdin. I think I've seen it twice. So that was okay. That wasn't too bad. I sat through The Lion King, but I didn't really like how they made it very bland compared to the cartoon. I don't know what the new one's going to be like. I'm probably not going to watch it because they've changed the background of Scar and Mufasa. Apparently they're no longer brothers, but adopted Mufasa or something. I don't know. Makes zero sense why they would do that, because the whole canon lore is that they are actually brothers, and the betrayal because it's supposed to be a take on my brain's gone. Macbeth. It's supposed to be a portrayal of Macbeth, basically. It's lions with Macbeth. So changing Mufasa and Scar's relationship to adopted brothers does not make sense. I don't like it. Plus, it looks like they've used AI in it, and I don't support AI, so I'm probably not going to support that movie. I don't know what other changes they've made to it, but hopefully they at least, because it does look like they're trying to make the characters more expressive, and maybe that'll work better for them this time, but I don't know. I think just as a story sort of like standpoint, I'm just a little bit more critical. Like, they could have made that movie with that storyline with a whole new franchise, and it might work better. But because they want the IP of Lion King in order to make the sales, it kind of feels like they're just sticking like the Lion King IP on it just because they don't think it's going to sell well otherwise. At least that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. Maybe I'm wrong. And I won't go into the other shit they're doing. Because again, I don't really like political talk all that much. But you've set me off on a rant now, guys. Yeah, I suppose I better go soon as well because I haven't eaten. Well, I had breakfast earlier and then I started streaming, and it is uh, gone 3 o'clock. I did not realize how long I have been streaming. But enjoy your meal night. Um, I will give some praise to Disney just because I really like Deadpool, but I don't know how much leeway they gave the creators of Deadpool. But I really enjoyed that, and now I have NSYNC by stuck in my head constantly, and I hate it because it makes me feel old. I may or may not have been very silently singing along in the cinema to that song. Like, I wasn't really a huge NSYNC fan when I was growing up, but it was that sort of genre of music that I grew up with, so I'm very familiar with the song. Um, and Madonna's "Like a Prayer." I was also singing along to that because I'm very familiar with that song. uh, but that movie was really funny. I think I still prefer the first movie. Um, but seeing Deadpool and Wolverine like fighting each other was so good. And thank you again for the birthday wishes, Night. I appreciate it. And now my secret is out of when my birthday actually is. Not that it was too much of a secret anyway, but it does feel old being another. Feel old. It does feel weird being another year older because it felt like it was still like winter for the longest time. Like I've always been a summer baby. Um, Granted the end of summer, but still. And then things are gonna get colder again. It doesn't feel like we've had enough summer, but I know we have because we've had like I want to say a fair summer. It hasn't been as good as it usually is, but it's been all right. We've had some nice days. We haven't really had much of a heat wave. We had like a couple of days of heat wave, but nothing extreme. Not like we did last year. Last year we had a really nice week in June or July, I think it was. But this year's been pretty mild, all things considered. I'm guessing some of my friends will be happy to see summer end. They're not fans of the heat. But I think men have a higher like body temperature in general, so I think that's why. Like I feel the cold quite easily, so I enjoy the summer because it means I actually get to feel warm for a change. Hopefully I'm gonna win this game actually. Might be lucky. I mean that's fair, John. Um, the problem with Wales is that it rains a lot here. Um, and or if it isn't raining, it's like overcast. So we don't see. I mean, we do see sun, obviously. But we don't see as much as say like other hotter city, like hotter places. But oh, there we go. We died. Um, let's change to this one. Um, so when we do get the sun, we kind of like we're happy that we get the sun, and then after like a day or two, we go back to complaining because it's too hot and we're not used to it. um, but yeah, so I like having the heat. I don't like it being uncomfortably hot, uh, which is probably cold for you guys. But I'd say 30 is way too much, way too hot. But if it's in like the 20s, like what is the temperature at the moment? Like it's supposedly 19 degrees at the moment, and I'd say that's kind of like perfect weather as long as it's like sunny. Because then you've got the sun and you've got it's not too hot, it's not too cold. Um, but it's very rare for us to have perfect temperatures here. Like right now, it is mostly sunny, but there is like several clouds in the sky. So this sort of weather I quite like because it means like if I want to go out and touch grass, I am perfectly able to go out and touch grass. Whereas if it's raining, I'm stuck inside all the time. And even though I'm a nerd, I do actually like nature and I like going on walks. And I like going to the beaches and stuff. Um, so for me, I don't like the rain because I can't do those things. Um, so yeah, I like my summer. Um, but yeah. Right, anyway, I think I might wrap up so I can go and get something to eat because it has been almost a 2 hour stream. Um, I don't know. I I think stuff is happening as normal tomorrow. Um, well, I live in the south of Wales, so I live quite near several beaches. Um, the beach nearest to me within walking distance is Pebble Beach, so it's not great for um, spending the day there. But there's lots of places in Wales that you can walk and enjoy nature. There's lots of parks and stuff. So Wales is very much a nature place. Like if you visit Wales, expect like a lot of nature trails and um hills and forests and stuff. we do have cities like our the capital of of Wales is Cardiff. And there's decent nightlife if that's the sort of stuff you're into. I don't drink, so clubs and stuff isn't really my thing. But most people come to Wales for nature because that's what we're big on. So there's lots to do outside here in terms of walking and stuff. So having the pups with us is great now because it means we can get the most out of that. But you kind of need the weather for it. Unfortunately, we don't. As much as I love Wales, the weather could do with a nice pick me up sometimes. But anyway, yes, I will have a lovely birthday. Thank you for joining us. It's always nice to see my regulars on and chat. I'm going to attempt to stream. If I can get everything done, I'll stream tomorrow, but don't quote me on that because I don't know. If not, what am I doing next week? I think it's normal hours next week. So either maybe Monday, maybe Wednesday will probably be my next stream. I was going to stream tomorrow, but I ended up having way too much to do. So I didn't get around to it. But I'll try and stream again this week, but if I don't, it'll be Monday or Wednesday next week. Probably around about the same time, maybe. I definitely want to play some more Dragon Age, because I want to play as much Dragon Age as I can in order to catch up, so then I can play the new Dragon Age game. I don't know if I'll buy it straight away, but when I do get it, I'll probably play it once through on my own first, and then I might stream it. Or I might stream it, and then you can get my live reaction to everything. I don't know. We'll see when I actually get towards being able to afford pay for it. But we'll see. We'll see. I just want the game to be good. Like, I'm already accepting the fact that the combat probably isn't going to be something I'm too into. Because it just reminds me of Dark Souls and Zelda. I'm never going to forgive them for the breaking vases to get your health back. Ugh. Anyway, but if they can at least get the lore right and the story and the characters, that's fine. That's all I really, really want out of this game. I'm really glad that they did not go forced online only and monetization and loot boxes and shit, because I would not have bought the game otherwise. I would have stayed so far away from the game if they had kept it that route. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to be optimistic, but at the same time, I've got my doubts. Anyway, I am going to stop trailing off and distracting myself. I need to eat. We need the energy. I will see you all soon. Again, thank you everyone who came by and wished me happy birthday. I do appreciate it. I love you all. I'll see you hopefully soon. Bye bye.